You're probably sitting at the kitchen table, scrolling through endless listings of portable generators, trying to figure out which one will actually sit in your garage and be useful when the lights go out, instead of just looking good on paper. You want something that you won't have to fight with every time you need to plug in a fridge, charge a laptop, or keep the RV lights on while you're parked on the side of the road. And you definitely don't want to waste money on a unit that sounds impressive in the specs sheet but ends up being a hassle to charge, too heavy to move, or just plain unreliable. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. When I started digging into the portable power station market, the first thing that stood out was how many brands tried to cram a 2 kilowatt inverter into a suitcase-sized box, promising enough juice for everything. The problem is, most of those units either run out of power in a few hours or require a wall outlet to recharge, which defeats the whole point of being portable. The Anker SOLIX F3800 Plus is positioned at the opposite end of that spectrum, a big capacity battery, solar-ready, and built to work with both solar panels and traditional generators. That immediately narrows the audience. This isn't a backyard camping accessory for occasional weekend trips, it's a semi-permanent backup solution that can also double as an RV power hub. So who should actually consider spending a few $1,000s on a unit that weighs over 70 pounds and packs 840 Wh? If you're a homeowner in an area that experiences frequent storms, and you've already felt the panic of watching the freezer go dark, this is the kind of system that can keep a few critical appliances running for a full day or more. Think about a refrigerator, a small electric heater, a few lights, and a charger for your phones and tablets. With 200 W of solar input capacity, you can pair it with a decent solar array, say, a 600-watt portable panel set, and recharge most of the battery in a sunny afternoon. That means you could be sitting on a porch, sipping coffee, while the sun refills the tank for the next night. Another practical scenario is the full-time RV lifestyle. Many people who travel in motorhomes complain that they have to rely on campground hookups or expensive diesel generators to power air conditioning, kitchen appliances, and sometimes even an electric bike charger. The SOLIX's dual voltage output, 120V and 240V, lets you run heavy-duty items like a portable air conditioner or an electric kettle without constantly swapping adapters. The intelligent remote control feature is actually handy here. You can monitor charge levels and toggle outputs from a smartphone app while you're parked at a remote site, instead of climbing down the ladder to flip switches. If you own an electric vehicle and are looking for a backup charging option at home, the SOLIX can act as a bridge during a power outage. You can't expect it to replace a level 2 charger, but you could get enough juice for a short commute or a quick top-up if you're stuck without grid power. That flexibility is one of the reasons the unit advertises directly power your EVs and RVs, and in practice, it means you can plug a level 1 charger into the 240V outlet and let the battery do the heavy lifting. Now, let's talk about the trade-offs. The biggest practical downside is the sheer size and weight. It's not something you can comfortably tote up a flight of stairs or stash in a small closet. Installation usually means a semi-permanent spot in a garage or a utility room, perhaps on a pallet to keep it off the concrete. You'll also need a decent solar setup to take advantage of that 200 W input rating. A couple of small 100-watt panels will barely make a dent. If you're hoping to charge this thing with a tiny fold-out panel while you're hiking, you'll be disappointed. Another point that's easy to overlook until you try to use it, the expansion capability. Anker markets the unit as expandable to 53 kilowatt-hours, which sounds like a massive power plant, but reaching that level means buying additional battery modules that are sold separately. Those modules aren't cheap, and you'll also need a proper management system to balance the cells. For most homeowners, the base 3.84 kilowatt-hours is already more than enough for emergency use, so the expandable claim is more about future-proofing than an immediate benefit. In terms of reliability, the 5-year warranty and the claim of a 10-year lifespan are comforting, especially when you compare them to cheaper units that often fail after a year or two. Anker has a reputation for solid battery management software, so you're less likely to see the dreaded over-discharge warnings that cripple cheaper stations. The remote app also provides real-time alerts if the temperature gets too high or if the battery health drops, which can be a lifesaver during a prolonged outage. Who should skip this unit? If you're looking for a lightweight, weekend-only power pack to charge a phone and run a single